All right, so let's talk about music and the business of it, shall we? My guests today are quite varied. We've tried to get as many people as we could in the value chain in the music sector. On your screens now, we have from PRISC, which is the Performers' Rights Society of Kenya. We have Ephantus Kamau, the CEO of that, and you can see as well from Events and Management, Chris Kira, who's obviously excited to be here. Eric Musyoka, otherwise known as Musyoks in the business. He's a well-known music producer, has been doing this for decades in the business. And Bien, he's the chairman of Kamati ya Roho Chafu. And he joins us live as well. That's who we're having, who are joining us virtually, but also here in studio. Listen, the big man, Bazoo himself. Do you want to do something? Exactly. What would the show be without something like that? And then, of course, you know her as an actress. She's been doing this for decades, but has also recently gone into DJing and being very successful with a DJ. Piera will be joining us as well here on the show. We'll be talking to her about music and, of course, about something that they're doing with events that's different now with the coronavirus pandemic. We have so many people to get through today. Let me start off with Bien, who's a member of Sauti Sol. I don't even think he needs any introduction, unless you've been living under a rock. Bien, hi, thank you for joining us on the show today. Let's start by talking about what you have recently done with your music. For those of us who are old school, we remember how albums were launched. You had the lead single, and then you dropped another one, and then there were probably about 10 or so tracks that would probably never get airplay, but would be on side A and side B of a cassette or a CD or whatever that was. But then you had a different strategy. You dropped your entire album online and then proceeded to have a full concert online as well. Talk to us about that. Bien? Bien, you want to unmute your mic?
Unmute the mic. His mic is mute.
Okay, all right. Well, Bien figures out where the unmute button is.
I'm sorry. Jesus Christ.
Unmute, Ben.
Anyway, first of all, I want to say thank you very much for this lovely forum to discuss the future of our business. I love such things. Yvonne, I just want to say, releasing our album during COVID was the most amazing thing we did for ourselves, because COVID then meant it's a listening season. So it's a season where people are in touch with their feelings and where people are absorbing music very differently. As you saw, we put all our songs on all streaming platforms to make them available because...
Ben, just hang on, hold on just a little while. I think I have to do some housekeeping rules for when we are live virtually. Can I ask everybody else to mute their mics, please, until I call on you, and then we can get there. Great, thank you very much. Ben, you were saying?
Should I start again?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me start again by saying that thank you for this platform. This is an amazing forum for us to discuss the future of our business. Second, I was going to say, releasing our album in this COVID period was the best thing we did for ourselves because it's a listening season. People are in their feelings, people are in their homes, people are going through a lot of things emotionally, and music has been the support system. I think we all agree that this entire COVID period would not have been possible to maneuver without music and art. Art and music has been the backbone of survival. It's an essential service, so to speak. Releasing our album across all platforms and even the ones that you consider to be free, such as YouTube. This is called streaming. We're in the streaming age. The streaming age is whereby the algorithm recommends music to you. So when you go to YouTube, you're always suggested for things. There's trending things. There's all this information that's being given to you. And in the streaming age, we are paid according to the number of minutes that our products have been streamed, because online, the audience retention is what pays the bills. So we have been able to get, at least our album up until now has well over 70 million streams across all platforms. And I credit this to releasing in a season where people were listening to music. We also did an online concert, and it was a phenomenal success. We were able to raise $100,000, and we had spent $48,000 in the making of the project. The future of the business has moved online. So I'm urging my fellow content creators to move to platforms that are actually paying
Right.
and for us to be able to chart a way forward for our business.
Okay, and thanks for dropping those numbers, because I think that's what this show is all about, understanding where the money is. And we will come back to you in a moment to just talk about, how you transformed Sauti Sol, from a music band into a business. And we'll talk about that in a moment. But that is pretty impressive. I mean, that's about what, $50,000 in profit, from the concert that you had, and everything is moving online. Well, now that everything is moving online, I wonder what this means for somebody like Chris Kira, who's in events management. Chris, if you can hear me, Chris is the CEO of Kate Chris Limited in the events business. So Chris, you hear what Bien and Sauti Sol are making in that online space. What does this mean for you? Because, events have literally, gone to a halt for the better part of this year.
Thank you for this, Yvonne and Citizen TV. I'm meeting many of them online now. I haven't seen Bien the entire year, by the way, among many people. It's been very, very, very crazy. So when business, our events business was shut down, obviously, because you cannot be having people congregating while you are saying do the social distancing. For the first few months, maybe I think 3 months, we sat at home wondering what to do. But then we woke up and then we realized the likes of Bien are actually doing business during COVID. So, and that's what we did. We decided, okay, since everybody is at home, why don't we start a YouTube channel? We didn't have a YouTube channel until this year. We had never probably thought that's what we need to do. We knew our work is just to do events and let other people do. So we started a channel. We call it's called Kate Chris. And the channel basically features event venues KE, meaning we come to an events venue and look at it from a perspective of an events manager, business traveler, what you need to do, the kind of experiences you can have in an event. And when we started, it was me, a gimbal, a phone, and we are exchanging. My wife holds, I record, then we switch, we record, and that's how we started. We are now in our 7th episode, covered 7 counties, and we choose unique places. We haven't started making 50. How much money did this guy make? We haven't started making that kind of money yet, because we haven't been there for long enough. But we are hoping that it will. And it's now beginning to pick up. We are getting inquiries from people who feel, hey, come over to my place. We need you to review, because when we guys speak, because we've been in the events industry for some time, maybe people listen. Yeah. Okay. So we had to also hurriedly go online.
Okay, so also going online, and we'll also talk about what the events industry is looking like with a bit of investments that have been made. The numbers won't be as many with social distancing. We'll get to that in a moment. Eric Musyoka joins us now as a long-term music producer, big bands, big hits, P Unit, and also now going into Gengetone. Before we talk about where we are now, Musyoka, can you talk to us about what, in your view, has been the evolution of the music industry, particularly as a business, from when you began up until this point, both for you as a music producer and also for many of the artists who have come through your studios, including up until this moment with Decimal Records?
Definitely, it's a pleasure having been invited to be part of this discussion. And the music business, the beauty with the music business is that it's always an evolving business, and it's not a static business. So you always have to be on the lookout for where technology is heading and how the consumption and the market is changing. Because music is a very subjective form of entertainment, and everybody has his own opinion of what they like and what they prefer. And as technology also plays a very big part of that, we've gotten to the point whereby now streaming and how consumers, the younger consumers, are consuming content is very different from how music was consumed about, I would say, 10 to 15 years ago. The days of the vinyl records, the cassette, the TV, all that's gone. And what that has done, it can revolutionize the business to the point whereby the barriers for entry are extremely low for anyone who is creative and has the time and energy to create content. So definitely what does that do? It brings more people into the table. And because we don't have the traditional gatekeepers and the traditional bureaucrats that kept from doing more content, what has happened is we have an explosion of content. So right now what really matters is how well do I make my content stand out.